welcome to yet another episode of Sensible Secondhand Reviews. I'm afraid we're not as prepared as we normally are because I have forgotten my microphone today, so you're going to have to cope with no budget reviews type sound, and also I think you're going to have to cope with no budget reviews type camera shake as well, because the road's a little bit bumpy the way we're going, which I do apologise for. This is a 2012 Volkswagen Tiguan 2.0 180 SE 4Motion, which is a bit of a mouthful. It's very kindly lent to me for review today by Simon from Langley Prestige in Chelmsford, and I'm very grateful always to be able to come down here and drive some interesting cars. So the Tiguan was launched back in 2008 in our market. I think some of the places got it in 2007, and was based on the B6 Volkswagen Passat platform. Now, a lot of people thought it was based on the Mark V Golf platform. Actually, that's not true, although they are quite similar in many ways. The engines available in one of these were a 1.4 litre engine with 150 horsepower as a turbo, a 2 litre engine with either 170 or later 180 horsepower, like this one. This is a 180 horsepower, and then at the top of the range was the same 2 litre that was used in the Mark V Golf GTI that generated 200 horsepower. As this was a car of the era with, Volkswagen Group links, there were also some diesels, but due to controversial government legislation and many other factors, we don't talk about diesels on this channel. This 2 litre does feel at least quite punchy. I mean, 180 horsepower is probably more than you need for this type of car, but it feels good. But one thing I would say is the steering is extremely light. It's very, very light indeed, and doesn't really give you much in the way of road feel. But then again, this type of car isn't really designed for the most sporty driving ever, so that's not maybe such a surprise. It does feel very comfortable though. Maybe doesn't take perhaps the bumps as well as you'd expect a car like this to do, but never mind. That's when the camera was shaking around everywhere. Even if I'd had the proper microphone today, it still would have been a bit of a problem. Let's see if we can accelerate nicely on the bypass in true high peak auto style. Mind you though, we are Sensible Secondhand Reviews, and so all the cars we feature can be bought for under £5,000. Now, this is a 2012 car, it's a facelift, and so it is worth a bit more than £5,000. However, I just got Simon to check for me. After all, he does deal in used cars, and he's found a 58 plate one of these petrol with under 100,000 miles on it for about £4,500. So I think we're perfectly justified in in what we're doing today on Sensible Secondhand Reviews, because we only review cars that you can buy in good condition with an MOT for between £1,000 and £5,000. So I apologise for the wind noise. Normally I would be using my separate microphone, but unfortunately I've forgotten it today because I'm an idiot. The styling of this facelifted Tiguan, it is quite pleasing. I think it does look quite handsome. Obviously it was a shape that was with us for a long time, and you do see these around. Simon's asked to apologise on his behalf. He's just got this car in, and he hasn't had a chance to clean it yet, so if it does look a bit filthy in places, that's not the normal standard that he prepares cars to. I'm going to be careful to not try to get too much in the way of extra sun rays around. This car, we've got quite big sidewalls on the tyres. They're 17-inch wheels, but the sidewalls are very big, which is good. Handles, I think, are straight off a Mark 5 Golf as well, as you'd expect. Lots of parts sharing with something like this. This car's got all parking sensors, which you know, for someone like me, that'd be very useful. I don't think the badge actually enables you to open the boot. No, it doesn't. You have to do it down here. As you can see, it is the 4Motion model. Now, he's not had a chance to clean in here either yet. I think I'm literally the first person to have driven this after Simon picked it up. But we actually do have a spare wheel in here, which is fantastic. I wish this is a variable height boot floor, but it's not. You can see that there's a sort of ski hatch type area there as well, which is handy. The boot's not quite as big as I thought it would be. I think it's somewhere like 400 litres, I think. Which is, I suppose, very typical of this type of car. But if you're wanting to carry a lot of stuff in here, you're probably going to need a slightly larger booted car. May I suggest something like a SsangYong Tivoli XLV, the ultimate space. It's about 750 litres or something like that. There are 12-volt sockets in here though, with a boot light and some nice tethering points as well, which is pretty good. I don't know if you can get electric tailgate moves. I don't think you can. Some of these did also come with an auto park assist feature. This only has the front and rear parking sensors with the sort of Volkswagen Group information screen, which sort of shows you, you know, what's going on the screen in the middle of a dash. There's no self-parking or the reversing camera. Those were available because I've actually driven one of these cars with that. So this is my driving position here. And if I climb in, that's really easy. That's really no problem at all. And then you just lift these up like this, little tables for people to do what they want. And a 12-volt socket. Try to minimise that kind of light reflection if I can. 12-volt socket and some vents, that's pretty good. Just pause a second here whilst I fold this table down. That was really strange, I just kind of hit it and it disappeared. Oh well. So we don't have anything too fancy in here in terms of, I suppose, like a kind of sliding seats or anything like that. I don't think the seats slide in this car. Oh, they do. Oh, I do apologise, they actually do. Right, oh, they do. Probably demonstrate that this way as well. Learn something new every day. Right. Right, it does slide, you've just got to sit on it, which is very difficult for me to demonstrate just on my own, which I am today. But you could also fold this down as you saw from the back. I'll have to fiddle with that a bit to make it work. But yeah, lots and lots of light in here, although the rear window is quite small, so you might want to find a model like this with the parking sensors or even one with a reversing camera if that's an issue. I'll just pull this door back a bit. What are the plastics like in here? Those are hard touch plastics. Do get some nice soft material here and a nice armrest. It feels reasonable quality actually. I think most of these were built in Germany, Wolfsburg and Osnabrück, which is nice. And there is a nice feeling of space in here. I've got absolutely loads of leg room. I've got loads of headroom, and you've got twin little lights in here. Obviously, we don't need those today. It's bright sunshine and about 29 degrees. We don't need anything like that, but it's nice to know that it's there. Okay, let's get in the front. This might be tricky in terms of the light, but I'll try my best. Let's keep it pointed down for a bit. You can see we've got height adjustable driver's seat here. You can wrap that all the way up, although I need to go down a little bit further, I think. Also got an enormous accelerator pedal for some reason, absolutely huge. Electronic parking brake in these, which I don't like with manual gearbox, but you know, there we go. Not really got much of a choice about that. 4Motion 4-wheel drive, although I don't see a 4-wheel drive selector here, which is interesting. I think that is the auto part button for one of these as well, which is interesting. Very, very, very clear instruments. Incredibly clear, actually. Really not much to say apart from they're incredibly easy to see. Standard Volkswagen indicator stalk and wiper stalk, and automatic lights in this model as well, which is quite handy. Bluetooth for mobile phone and things like that too, and dual zone climate control, which I am going to enjoy very, very much on the drive back to Langley Prestige. Yes, my phone mount is there, that's the thing that vibrates when we drive along the road and annoys me. Okay viewers, I am running the air conditioning because my phone is with an overheat warning, so hopefully that will do something about that. Standard Volkswagen Group infotainment system at the time, DAB radio, no sat-nav in this car, although we have got media controls for things like USB and an aux in and that sort of stuff. We've got lots of storage down here as well. Well, no smoking, it's very German, no smoking. Although the Germans do like to smoke. I remember going to university in Germany in 2004 and they were advertising cigarettes at the cinema. So there's the aux in, media in, a weird kind of sort of connector that is. I don't think it's even a USB, I don't know what that is. But another 12-volt socket down there, there's two in the front then, and some cup holders under here with a little slidey thing. And let's see if we can get the secret mission documents in here. We can blast the phone a bit with this to keep it cool. Yes, viewers, the secret mission documents fit. That's a good sign. I think as well that the glove box is chilled by the air conditioning in there. And it fits the manual inside, which is nice. Soft touch dashboard, very soft touch dashboard, that's very nice. Soft touch materials on the driver's door. All the switches are up high, which is nice. Electric mirror switch, which is obviously heated as well. And the other electric windows, and there's these like locking buttons, so quite logically laid out, which is nice. This doesn't seem particularly like it's the most difficult thing to use I've ever seen, which is good. And there's a random thing on the top of the dashboard for something, and a compartment for sunglasses, which is nice, but no one's left me any to wear today because I forgot to bring those too. Never mind though. Let's go and have a look at the engine. So here's the 2-litre TSI petrol engine developing 180 horsepower in this particular application. Big plastic cover, not the most room to work on anything, perhaps because this is one of the four-wheel drive models, it's a bit more complicated in here. Standard Volkswagen Group coolant reservoir from, well, you know, sort of 80-70 until today. Lots and lots of other sort of boxes and air things. Not the easiest thing to work on, but it is just to pass that underneath, so parts probably aren't too difficult to obtain. Yes, air conditioning, I think we'll be using that on the way back, viewers. Right, time to take this car back to Simon. Right viewers, standard view for Sensible Secondhand Reviews. In fact, this is one of the pieces of footage that I'm recreating from the first ever title sequence we had. So I've just adjusted the driving position more to my liking. I've adjusted it right down, and so it feels more natural to me. You can adjust it up quite a long way as well. So it's very easy to get the right position. There is telescopic adjustment and reach in the steering wheel as well. So standard kind of Volkswagen ergonomics and engineering, really does feel just very easy to drive. You know, maybe not the most interesting driving experience, but not everybody wants that. They just want something that they can get in and out of, and you know, plenty of room to take children out in, and you know, go to the shops and things. And this will definitely do. Obviously, you could argue that a passive estate would do the same thing, and yes, it would. But some people prefer this sort of raised right item, the look of one of these cars, and you know, in that respect, it does deliver. I'm going to be here for a while, aren't I, viewers? The one thing I would say about this car is it doesn't feel as fast as it should do with, 180 horsepower. It should feel faster than this, and perhaps the torque's not coming on when I'd hope it would, or something like that. I don't really know, but it just doesn't feel as fast as I think it should. With 2 litres and 180 horsepower, perhaps the 4-wheel drive system is kind of taking away some of that power. But yes, it's smooth enough to drive. It's easy enough. I don't like electronic handbrakes really, particularly on manuals, but I suppose you get used to it. That's something to check as well, that the electronic handbrake's working correctly, because if they go wrong, they're much easier, they're much more difficult to fix than a standard manual handbrake. So yes, I have enjoyed driving around the country lanes of Essex in this lovely car. It makes me feel, I don't know, it has this sort of premium quality to it. It just makes me feel a little bit posh today. So viewers, should you buy a first generation Volkswagen Tiguan with your hard-earned budget of between £1,000 and £5,000? Well, if you bought the fuel cars, I gather there is a timing chain slip problem on the pre-2011 1.4 TSI engines as well, so it's something to be aware of. Obviously, a lot of these engines do actually have belts in them. Some have belts, some have chains actually in Volkswagen into this time, so just be aware of that. The car was actually made in China and Vietnam, in addition to being made in Germany, which is interesting. The trim levels available in one of these are S, Match, SE, like this one, Sport, Escape, for some reason, I don't know what, escaping to what, Match Edition, R-Line Edition, Summit, and Blue Motion Tech. I imagine Blue Motion Tech is the forbidden fuel model, so I shouldn't be talking about that. Yes, I quite like this car for some reason. I don't know why. It's not everyone's taste. I mean, some people, really like the Volkswagen Group products. Some people don't. It's not the biggest boot in the world, but the sliding seats are very nice. It seems actually quite easy to drive. The gearbox is nice in this. But yes, the ones that are in this price bracket though are getting on a little bit. Obviously, this one is a lot newer. It's only done 47,000 miles, and it'll be nice and clean in a few days, ready for somebody to buy it. So something like this, I imagine, will be a pretty good buy for someone. Anyway, thank you for watching this episode of Sensible Secondhand Reviews. I do apologise for the problems we have with sound and other things. And yes, hopefully the next episode will be a little bit better in that respect. But yes, social media links are down below. We've also got a notification bell that you can click if you want to be informed of when new uploads go live. And thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching.